Hello students, in the last video we talked about literal and figurative meaning in literature, and today we are going to explore both these meanings in a very famous poem, Daffodils by William Wordsworth. So let's have a quick recap of the last session, what we did in the last session. We talked about literal versus figurative language. If we talk about literal language, it means words and phrases that convey information precisely and factually. What is given in the sentence, it actually means the same. There is no such deviation. Whereas figurative language comprises expressions where words do not indicate their meaning at face value. It's something deeper and something apart from the literal meaning. In literal language, we understand language literally. We interpret words in the straightforward and everyday sense, whereas figurative language are words used in a way that deviates from the conventional or literal meaning to create a more profound or imaginative impact. So we'll explore this with the help of an example. You can see the visual. There's a girl, she has packed so much stuff in her suitcase, and if I have to express this using literal language, we would use this sentence: she packed a lot of things in her suitcase. It's as simple as literal as it is seen. Whereas if we need to express it figuratively with more impact, we would say something like this: she packed everything but the kitchen sink in her suitcase. So the difference is quite evident. What do you mean by literal and what do you mean by figurative language? And today we are going to explore both these meanings using a famous poem, Daffodils by William Wordsworth. First, we'll talk about the poet first. Now, William Wordsworth, a leading English romantic poet, was instrumental in the Romantic age alongside Samuel Taylor Coleridge, another famous poet. His poetry is known for its deep connection to nature, exploration of human emotions, and vivid language. Wordsworth drew inspiration from the natural world, infusing his works with a profound sense of wonder. And how does he do that? We'll explore that when we recite this poem, Daffodils. So here goes the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So now students, this was the poem. Now if I'm talking about the literal meaning, what we are supposed to do, we are going to focus on three things. We are going to focus on the scene, the colors and the objects that were mentioned in the poem. So think about these three questions. What do you think Wordsworth is describing in the poem? Yes, if we think literally, he is describing daffodils, yellow and bright and vibrant color daffodils. This is what comes to our mind. Second, what do we envision based on the literal meaning of the poem? It seems like the poet is going and he sees a field that is full of vibrant yellow flowers, namely daffodils. And finally, what scenes or images did Wordsworth paint for you? It's again something like that, and it fills the poet with a sense of happiness and joy. So this is the literal meaning. When we read the poem, yes, he's talking about the vast field of daffodils and he's enjoying the scene. That is just the literal meaning. And if we have a glance, what does it mean to have a literal meaning? The poem describes the poet's encounter with a vast field of golden daffodils while walking alone. The flowers swaying and dancing in the breeze leave a deep impression on him. The sight fills the speaker with joy and tranquility. And finally, when he is alone or feeling low, the memory of the daffodils fills him with peace and happiness. So here we are just focusing on the literal meaning, the colors and the objects and the scenes that we come across while reading this poem. So this is all about the literal meaning of this poem, Daffodils. Now students, I'm sure you would be able to identify what is literal and what is figurative language. So I've got a task for you. There are few statements you have to identify whether it conveys a literal or figurative meaning. I'm sure students you will be able to attempt this, and in the coming session we are going to explore something deeper, something figurative in the same poem, Daffodils. Till then, happy learning and have a great day.